I rock a dad bod. Drop my Hellcat like it's NASCAR. It's NASCAR. Barbecuing in my backyard. Gotta love it on my dad bod.
Hey, welcome to another edition of the Western Ontario Super Hockey League podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Fell. Or, you know what? Let's change my name. I'm K Fell. The theme song, of course, is Dad Bods, Jamie Mines. He is available on iTunes. He is available on Spotify. So what a weekend that was. Two teams up 2-0. Allura Rocks leading the Stratford Fighting Irish 2-0. And the Tillsonburg Thunder leading the Strathroy Jets 2-0. How did we get there? What took place? Let's look at some graphics. Here's a look at the suspensions that took place in Game 1 of the Allura Rock and Stratford Fighting Irish game in Elora. As you can see, all 2 game suspensions to all of the players, and they will all be returning for game number 4 at the William Allman Arena this Saturday. This past week in the WOSHL, we also saw some pretty good goaltending, especially out of Colin Dunn. A 2.0 goals against average. He is leading the WOSHL playoffs right now. In number 2 is Jesse Raymond with a 2.14. Josh Diamond with a 3.43. Andrew Haram-Duke is with a 5.0, and of course that will be because of the 11 goals he gave up against the Allura Rocks in Game 2. There was some scoring and some points. Ray Robbins, the captain of the Fighting Irish, continues to sit in first place among players in the playoffs. Brody Smith is in second of the Irish. Todd Ratchford is in third, but tied with Brody Smith with 5 points each. Cameron Stokes of the Irish as well, 4 points. And Matt Martin, the big defenseman, rounding out the top 5 in scoring in WOSHL playoffs right now with 4 points. Okay, so there's a look at your suspensions. Most of them are going to be over by Saturday, so that's good news for both teams. So what took place over the weekend on the ice? Well, Tillsonburg won 5-3 in Game 1 against the Strathroy Jets. That's the first series we're going to look at. And a surprising, to me anyway, series so far is Tillsonburg is now up 2-0. So we're going to go to the highlights of Game 1 shortly. Just a heads up though, we don't have highlights from Game 1 of the Stratford Fighting Irish in Allura, and that is due to some internet issues, but I do have the highlights for Allura, the lowlights for the Stratford Fighting Irish in Game 2. We'll get to that shortly, but let's go to the highlights of Game 1 as the Thunder took it to the Jets 5-3. All right, so there's game one. As you can see, the Thunder winning 5-3 in Strathroy. How did game two go, you ask? Well, it was a little closer. It was an overtime victory by the Tillsonburg Thunder at home. They win 3-2. Here's those highlights.
Shot taken by number 17, and we have a goal from Strathroy's number 14. Dane Johnston. Tillsonburg scores! Number 19, Todd Radford. Great net presence by Scott Stafford. Have an opportunity which Strathroy scores off of a broken stick by Tillsonburg's defenseman. Have a tic-tac-toe play to make it 2-1 for Strathroy. We have a shot from the slot, and we have a goal by number 19, Todd Radford. Tillsonburg ties it with 4 minutes left in the third on the power play. We have a 2-on-1 pass, and he scores! Pass from the left side to the right goal area, and Tillsonburg Thunder scores in overtime.
So there's game two. Tillsonburg wins in overtime over the Strathroy Jets, 3-2. So let's get the reaction now from Rob Hutchinson, the head coach of the Tillsonburg Thunder. He's going to talk about this playoff round, what they have to do to keep the momentum going. All right, now joining me is Rob Hutchinson, coach of the Tillsonburg Thunder. You guys had a heck of a weekend there. You came out, you're up 2-0 against Strathroy. How do you keep that momentum going?
You know what? It's been not tough, but the game here Saturday went into overtime, of course, right? We won 3-2. Momentum-wise, guys are just all four lines, 6D are firing all cylinders. We're headed into hopefully a good game again on Friday. It's just, just momentum-wise, we just got to keep it going and keep guys intense in the game and every shift and keep everybody excited about the game, right? So, yeah.
And speaking of excitement, in Strathroy, they're a small barn. They're a loud barn. How do you get the barn out of it?
You know, it's like the first thing we did there. And, you know, we just kind of got to get on them early and get a couple goals, and we quiet them down a little bit. But, you know, I don't think it's ever easy to quiet that barn down, especially now in playoff time, right? With the COVID thing all over with, they kind of it's very excitable there. And you know what, the crowd even gets our guys going too, because they're right into it with everything. So yeah, as long as we get a couple of quick early goals or the first goal, hopefully things will tame down a little bit for them, right? So,
And Tilsonburg's had an interesting year. You've had an up and down year. You know.
Yeah, we've had.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, we've had some injuries. We've had, the COVID thing hit and some guys get a little sick here or there kind of thing, but more injuries than anything. And we finally get kind of back to a full roster. We can keep 4 full lines and 6 defensemen, right? So, where we struggle a little bit with that, but I mean, we still shorthanded with 3 lines or 4D, right? We still did okay. We held in there, but yeah, now everybody's back healthy. We still got a couple guys out. Eric Langridge, he's out he might try this weekend, but he's, I don't want him to force it. He's got a bad shoulder. We hope to see him back in the lineup sometime soon too. So, yeah.
So do you think that Strathroy maybe thought, okay, we're playing Tilsonburg here. Do you think they played down to you, or are you playing up to them?
No, I don't think so. I think we've been, even through the regular season with the games we had, we were pretty evenly matched, right? We were shot for shot, pretty decent, lost by a couple of goals here or there. Both teams are pretty equal. It's just a matter of, getting that jump first and keeping that intensity in the game, right? Our guys have always been intense, but, obviously once, every team's the same way. Once you get a lead, you can kind of hang on to it. You don't want to you want to keep going and keep pumping the neck full of pucks. But yeah, just kind of once we get going and we stay on that pace, we'll be good. And I think those guys, the same thing. I don't think they ever took us for granted. It was just that, yeah, we've always been, a little short staffed going there, or them coming here, and good intensive games between both of us. It's just a matter of, us playing our normal game, which we always have, but just kind of, keeping the intensity up and keep going right at them. Right. So
100%. So Rob, yeah. What was the message in the dressing room? I don't know if you've practiced yet or not. Like, what do you say to the players? Keep this going. How do you keep them up?
Yeah, it's, we went in Saturday. We had a practice last night with minimal guys, which, it's no big deal. But yeah, we went in the dressing room Saturday night and just said, hey, we have to keep, like you said earlier, keep the momentum going, right? Keep the foot on the gas kind of thing and keep going at them 100%, one shift at a time, 20 minutes at a time, basically, right? One period at a time. And we stay on top of them and do the little things right that we've always kind of done and talked about in the room. And just, yeah, keep the guys moving forward with good, positive views of what we have to do every period and every shift. Right. So,
well, yeah, for sure. And, we're talking about how loud Strathroy is, but Tilsonburg is also a pretty boisterous barn there. So how do you get the crowd into it right away, or is that not an issue?
I don't think it's too much of an issue. Yeah, all the fans, whether it be in Strathroy or Tilsonburg, would like to see the home team get the first goal, right? But, body contact with these guys, I can see these next 2 games getting a little bit more intense, right? But, it's just keeping your hometown fans, like you say, that first goal, like I said to you earlier, would really definitely help things. But I think the excitement Saturday will bring, that we've seen with the overtime here in town, hopefully put some more people in the seats, knowing that it's going to be a great game coming back here Saturday even, right? It's just kind of, yeah, I think the full out intensity, whether we score first or they do, is just going to be watching what could, happen on the ice at any point in time, right? So, yeah.
All right. So, Rob, what I've been doing with these interviews is we talk about the game, but then I like to get to know you. And so the viewers can get to know you and learn a little bit about your hockey history. So let's talk about your coaching history. What brought you to the WOSHL? Where did you start and how did you get here?
Well, like players, right? I coached usually, it was just basically since my mid-20s, in and out of Tilsonburg minor hockey on and off. Bounced around to some girls teams in the Simcoe area that's close to us. Back to minor hockey here in town. Jumped in with Norwich minor hockey for a while with the midget teams there. So won some silver sticks and internationals, went to those, and some OMHAs with Tilsonburg. Like I said, bumped into Norwich with their midget team. And then from Norwich, I found myself going with a friend of mine, Frank Mueller, to Woodstock to coach the junior C team there. We're there for a year and a half or 2 years, bumped out of there. And then I got an opportunity. I was starting to help Delhi, the junior C team there. And I was in before that, way before that, was Dover junior D there when we were in Dover. But I went into Delhi to help out, and then found myself going to Waterloo, the Siskins, for a season. I do believe it was the 12-13 season. I think, just after they won the Cherry Cup that year, I went up there the following year, was there for a season with the Waterloo Siskins, and great experience with those guys. Nice higher level of hockey, get some good tips and points there as what that higher level pace needs to be at, and found myself coming back to Junior C in Delhi for 2 or 3 seasons there, helping them try to get out of the struggle they were into. And we got 5 wins my last season there, and ended up going to playoffs, and on and off in between that, helped out with the Thunder with Dave McLaren for 2 or 3 seasons, just helping him out when they were in the old league. And then got the opportunity to join a board here when COVID hit 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and been with Tillsonburg Thunder ever since. So, but yeah.
And as a guy that's been around as a coach, how has the transition been to the Western Ontario Super Hockey League?
It's been really good. It's a great league. I think Bill and Jamie done an excellent job getting the league going. You can see that, the momentum swinging forward to next season. Hopefully, those few other teams that are, interested come by and join the league, and it grows some more. The players, I'll be honest with you, there's probably a few that I've seen in Junior B when I was there, my time there, and in the surrounding teams and Junior C, right? It's good to see them picking up some players like, the Stratford team, even Elora. I've noticed a couple of guys on the ice there that were in Junior B, Junior C loop, right? And, the big thing is that transition, I think, it's going to be a great league, and it's just going to be one of those things that they'll get more higher intense players. And, even the Junior C guys, right? There's still quality guys out there to pick up in the few seasons to come, and it'll be a great league moving forward. That's for sure. So,
well, fantastic, Rob. Thank you for taking your time and joining me on the podcasting. Good luck this weekend, and good luck the rest of the way for the sprint to the Sleeman Cup.
Great. Yeah. I got to say, you're doing a great job with the league too. And it's glad to see you aboard. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun so far. So there's head coach of the Tillsonburg Thunder, Rob Hutchinson, and now Mark Van Geffen, the head coach of the Strathroy Jets, and what they have to do to get back into this series and hopefully tie it up after this weekend. Joining me, thank you so much, Mark Van Geffen, joining me, the coach of the Strathroy Jets. Mark, let's start things off. You're down 2-0. Are you surprised by that, or you knew you were in for a fight with Tillsonburg?
Yeah, we knew we were in for a fight for sure. Like they've been a strong team all year, and then they added a few pieces here at the end, which we didn't get to see. And yeah, it's been a pretty tight series the first 2 games, and I expect that to continue on.
And what's your game plan going into this weekend to get yourself even?
Well, I mean, I thought we played really good there Saturday, and I thought for 2 periods I thought we probably had the better of the play, and then we were a little short in the lineup, an injury, and then a guy was sick. So our back end was a little light, and it definitely showed. Tillsonburg came hard in the third and scored on a power play there at the end to tie it up. And overtime's overtime. We had a nice chance, hit the post, and then they came down and buried. So that's just hockey, right? So hopefully we can find some puck luck and get a little bit more effort. Well, I didn't hate our effort Saturday. Friday we were a little sleepy, and Tillsonburg took advantage of that for sure.
And what's been your message in the dressing room during practice? Is it like put those games behind you and just go for it?
Most of these guys have played some pretty good level hockey, so you don't really dwell on it too much. I mean, they're doing most of the talking, so that part's easy. It's not like I've coached a lot of minor hockey and stuff. This is a little different. You let the vets and the guys who played some serious hockey do most of the talking, and no one's panicking by any stretch, but they know it's a big weekend for us. There's no doubt about that.
And you've got a loud barn. How do you get the crowd into it right away?
Well, yeah, we have a small venue with bar on both ends, so we don't have to do much. We just got to make sure the bar's open and and let it work itself out. So yeah, we don't have any trouble making noise in there.
No, just get the fans all greased up, and then you're going to have a noisy rink all game.
That's right.
And Mark, I know you're busy. I won't keep you much longer. I wouldn't mind just going down your hockey history a little bit. Where did you start coaching, and what brought you to the WOSHL?
So my coaching background, I've coached in Strathroy I've been coaching for about 25 years now. Started when I was pretty much out of junior. And a lot of the guys in the team I actually coached in minor hockey. So that's kind of what drew me into this. Was a lot of I'd say probably half of the guys in the team I've coached in their past hockey careers, and it was kind of a nice little gesture that they wanted me to help. So tough to say no. I find it a little tough because I still have kids involved. So I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but I wouldn't want to have it any other way, really.
Well, fantastic, Mark. I won't keep you. Thank you so much for joining me, and good luck this weekend.
Oh, I appreciate it. Hopefully we get an interview next week with somebody. Get a win or two this weekend would be great.
Absolutely. So that's the view from the coach's bench in the Tillsonburg-Strathroy series. Tillsonburg up 2-0. We'll see how it goes after this weekend. And now we're going to look into the player's mind as we visit with two forwards. Coming up after we look at Game 2 from the Stratford Fighting Irish taking on the Elora Rocks. It depends who you cheer for here. Because if you're an Elora Rocks fan, these are highlights. If you're a Stratford Fighting Irish fan, these are lowlights. Just a reminder, we don't have Game 1 due to some technical issues at the arena. But let's look at that 11-2 loss by the Stratford Fighting Irish and the win by the Rocks. Here they are. Wins the draw. Battling for it in the corner now, and they take it, try to get it, rebound in front of the net, bouncing around. They can't get a handle on it, back to the point. Petrie with it. Petrie having a look, trying to set something up. Petrie back to the half boards, takes his shot. Puck bounces around in front of the net. The Irish back on it. Back behind the net, and the Elora Rock dump it back down the ice. 3-0 for the Elora Rocks in the late stages of this first period. Irish pick it back up over the blue line, can't get it across center, and we see two Irish players, Gorman running into his own teammate there. Matt Martin with it, takes a little time, gets everyone back on side, and that'll do it for the Elora Rock penalty.
Well, just the one scoring opportunity, but it was a real dangerous one. Unlucky for Stratford. They really could have used that goal to get themselves back in this hockey game. One thing you see that's consistent about the Stratford power play, they may be moving guys in and out, but it's always Stokes and Broomhead and Robbins on the ice at the same time, and they really move the puck around so well.
Absolutely they do, as they battle for it now in the defensive zone. Face-off puck in front of the net. The Irish turn it back around and chip it out. Irish with it, back around the boards, plays it into the corner. Puck back around. Here come the Irish, up over center ice. Dumped in, that was Johnson. Johnson loses a handle on it, Smith gives chase. Puck back behind Elora's net. Puck is cleared up. Oh, and we've got a rush developing for the Rock. Takes the shot, and that's a big blocker save by Hiram Duke.
And a nice play there by Zach Cameron coming back. It was a 3-on-2 for Stratford, but Zach Cameron busting hard to get back. Broke up the play. Not only that, but he started to break out the other way and ended up with a scoring opportunity for the Rocks.
And the Irish now facing off. It's Robbins, the captain, in the defensive zone. The puck drawn back. Puck is shot, deflected into the netting.
Well, we've got a shortened Stratford bench, but there are still 3 full lines there and 6 defensemen, so it's not like they're really short-handed. They're missing. It's not the amount of players they're missing. It's the quality of their players they're missing, like O'Brien and Casey.
And now the puck is into the corner, and the Irish try to clear it out, but it's picked up. Irish up over center ice. Here are the Irish in. Nice pass, scores! A nice tape-to-tape.
What a fantastic pass by Ray Robbins across.
And that'll be a 3-on-2. In, shot, score. Too far, and clears it out. Oh, and that's a setup in all alone. And a big... And that it was in. A short-handed breakaway goal. All right, let's light things up for the second period. It is about to get underway. The Stratford Fighting Irish looking to get back into it. 4-1 for the Rock. The puck is dropped, and the Rock pick it up in their own end. They play it back across the red line, and they dump it in. And here come the Irish now. Irish up over the boards. It's Robbins, dumps it in, looking for the diagonal shoot, and the Rock pick it back up and dump it back down the ice for an icing call.
Well, in the stating the obvious department, the next goal is going to go a long way toward deciding who wins this hockey game. Clearly, Stratford needs to get the next goal to get it back to 4-2. Elora scoring first makes it 5-1 and makes it quite an uphill climb. And so we'll see if Stratford can at the very least, avoid some of the bad breaks they got in the first period.
Yeah, they did not get a lot of puck luck as Stokes leans in, throws the puck at the net, picked up, bound, rattled off the board, stumped back in by the Irish. Back behind the net. Irish with it. Behind the net again. Broomhead can't get a handle on it as they give chase for it. That was Johnson with the stick check, and the Rocks pick it up again. Here come the Rocks. In front of the net all alone, and drives it through the 5-hole. And that was Zach Cameron finding the back of the net and beating Andrew Hiram Duke through the 5-hole with a deflection. And now the Irish up, or the Rock up over the red line. Play to the point, big shot finds the back of the net for the Rocks again. The puck comes to the high slot and blows it past the Duke.
Wow, this one's going from bad to worse on Stratford right here. It just, if the first period could not have started any worse, the second period.
Back the other way. It's now up the ice. Elder loses a handle on it. Here it is into the slot, going nowhere, and the Rocks pick it back up. Rocks back with it, takes the shot, finds the back of the net. It is now 7-1.
Oh my God!
Well, there's no sense beating a tired horse. The fact that it's 7-1, you can't be late on the goalie.
And in front, off of...
Now you've got 4 pucks that have gone in off of Stratford players, and boy, I tell you, I guess the only thing you can take from this, Kevin, get it all out now.
and we've got a player down on the ice, and nobody, the ref, isn't calling out, blowing a whistle. Overshot. What a save. And we finally got him up off the ice, and no call, no play being whistled down.
I'm speechless. A shot that was clearly a headshot, no less, that practically knocked Cameron Stokes right out. And again, and of course Stratford is apoplectic at this point. They cannot.
And we've got a goalie change coming into this third period. What do we know about the man with the Arturas Urbe helmet?
Well, in a word, nothing. His name's Anthony Marshall, and we know absolutely nothing about him. He certainly has got that. If you're as old as I am, he kind of looks like a modern version of Don Edwards.
You're saying Don Edwards? I go with Arturas Urbe.
I go even further back than you, Kevin, so, you know. At the end of the day, though, the first shot on net is a save, so he must know what he's doing in there. He looks like a pro so far.
Absolutely. Puck to the point, diagonal shoot-in, power play over. Sorry about that. I had to do a little graphic work. Here's the puck now. The Irish with it. They try to play it in. Back in front of the net. Nothing there. The Rock try to clear it out as the Rocks hope for run time in this third period as the puck bounces down for an icing waved off. That's a likely keep this clock going kind of move. Puck in, Petrie giving chase. Now I saw you talking to the athletic trainer, Abby. Did Maverick lose a chiclet?
Actually, no. According to Abby Hood-Tidman, the athletic trainer of the Stratford Fighting Irish, he didn't lose it. It got chipped, so there's some damage to it. So he'll be spending some time in the dentist chair this week coming up. But frankly, if I were him, I'd maybe wait until the season's over and get it capped then.
I agree 100%. Maybe we should take a moment to talk about what happened early on in the first when we were having audio issues. They honored Abby, the athletic trainer from the Stratford Fighting Irish. She's done a lot of work this season, and congratulations to her.
She's going off to Australia to pursue further her career up there. Just a life experience trip. She's going to be spending a few months there. I don't have all the details. I spoke to her briefly about that last week. And so at the end of the day, we wish Abby all the best, all the good fortune in the world, and she's going to be moving down there for about 6 or 7 months. So good for her, and the club, to their credit, gave her a signed jersey to take with her and show off down in the land down under. So I'm looking at Colin Dunn now, who's getting the rest of the day off. Looks like he's had a Caesar poured for him. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure what's in that drink, but he sort of seems very relaxed and happy to have the rest of the day off.
And I'll tell you, Abby's a brave woman to go to Australia, because I have a theory that everything there can kill you. But anyway, let's get back to some hockey as the puck is back behind the net. The Irish on the power play, one-timer turned aside as they throw it back to the point. The Irish kicking it around, back to the point, big save. As the Irish looking to get something going, a little bit of a positive, loses control, back to the other way, one-timer shot, big stop. Duke plays it up. Irish back in. They've looked pretty good on this power play as the puck chipped back around, and Robbins with it back up to the point. Oh, in his feet, loses it. And a breakaway pass. I find it bizarre to be looking for a breakaway pass when it's 9-1. Shot, rips it, knocks the water bottle askew, and it's 10-1.
Then they sneak in behind the defenseman and try and get one on the board, because any hockey player will tell you any goal counts as a goal and makes you feel pretty good about yourself.
Absolutely. Puck back around. Broomhead sends it to the corner to Robbins. Broomhead looking to get in front of the net, get something going, get a positive note, and there's another breakaway pass into the corner, and the Rocks battling away for it. And they are in their corner now, and they're trying to find it. They wrap it around the boards. The captain, Robbins, picks it up, rattles it around the far side. The puck bounces over the blue line, back down to the Rocks end. That one's rattled around the boards. Puck back to center ice. Rocks pick it up the boards. Looking for a nifty pass. They do. In shot, scores. So there it is. There's the highlights from game number 2 from the Almond Arena. The Elora Rock lead that series 2-0. They had their way with the Stratford Fighting Irish. We're going to go to Andrew Bogdan now, who is coming off of his suspension very shortly, and will be joining the Irish this weekend. He's going to talk about what they can do to get back into this. Well, welcome to the podcast for the WOSHL, Sir Andrew Bogdan, forward with the Stratford Fighting Irish. Now let's get right to it, Andrew. You returned from your suspension on Saturday. What do you bring to the table for the Fighting Irish in this tough playoff series against the first place Elora Rocks?
When I get back, I just want to come and play a tough game, throw the body around. I don't want to be in the penalty box. I'm going to be very disciplined, try and get some points up on the board, and just trying to get us back into the series.
And speaking of the series, you guys had a real rough one last Saturday, an 11-2 loss. How do you – I know you're not in the game Friday night in Elora, but how do you guys go into that? What was the message Tuesday night at practice? What did Coach Jamie Petrie have to say?
Really, we basically have nothing to lose here. Elora basically has everything to lose. We're the 4th seed team. We're down 2-0 now in the series. I mean, we just go into Elora on Friday night and just play like we have all year, play hard. And hopefully we can get the rewards that we need, and we can hopefully extend this series on. Jamie just wants us to be disciplined. He wants us to come in and play hard, and that's all he's asked from us all year. So,
and definitely a little support for Haram Duke, your goaltender, who had a rough night on Saturday. You're going to want to support him.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be hard with just one goaltender on Saturday, but hopefully he can bounce back, and it'd be nice to see what happens on Friday night.
For sure. So what is your plan going into Elora now? It's a loud arena. How do you get the crowd out of it quickly?
Like I said, we got nothing to lose. So I think we're just going to go in there, keep our heads up, and just play the game that we have all year. Just maybe tighten up a bit defensively, and don't let them push us around. Like, I mean, they beat us 11-1 in our home arena. They were kind of like laughing at us, kind of like it was like a joke. But I think we need to go in there and just show them that we're still there, and try and make a series out of it.
For sure. And yeah, the 11, that's a hard, and I do the play-by-play for you guys, right? And I found that the attitude was a little interesting nonetheless, but that's, do you guys just put that behind you and try to stay disciplined, as your coach likes to say?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. The score is what it is. At the end of the day, it's still 2-0 them in the series. We're not going to look back and dwell over that game, that 11-2 game, but we just got to keep moving forward, and that's all we can do. We can't just keep looking back at that, because obviously there was some different things going on in that game that some people couldn't control, and I guess we just have to move on from that. So,
all right, we're moving on from it. You're looking forward to a big return. I'm sure you've been itching to get out on the ice with the boys. Are you fired up?
yeah, I'm pretty fired up. I mean, been working all week. I had to watch them play this weekend, and I love playing against Elora. I mean, they're the top seed team. Potted a couple goals against them, and I just like the way they play too. I like going in there and throwing the body around. So I'm pretty excited on Friday night to get back into it.
Fantastic. So let's learn a little bit about you before we wrap up this interview. Tell me about your hockey journey. Where did it start?
I was born and grew up in Stratford. I played for the Stratford Warriors growing up, a few years for the Huron Perth Lakers, AAA. And then when I was 17, I went to the Tavistock Braves, and I played for the Braves for 2 years, and Jamie was my coach there. And then after those 2 years, I got traded to Mitchell. And then I ended up going up to St. Mary's and played there for my final 20-year-old year. So after that, I played a few years in beer league, and then kind of heard about this league. And honestly, at the beginning when we were talking about it, I didn't really know what I thought about it. But now that I've been playing and like see all the guys that are playing, it's a pretty good competitive league for the first year, and nothing but good things to say about this league. And yeah, so here we are now, first year of playoffs, and hopefully we can pull something out.
Well, for sure, we're pulling for you. There's always room for an upset in the playoffs. If you know, there's usually one a year in every league. So
Yeah.
I think the fans in Stratford are hoping it's you. Final question about your days in Tavistock. Did you play with the ultimate beauty? He had the greatest flow, Jordy Schneider.
Yes, I did play with Jordy Schneider. He got traded over from Wingham. We actually became pretty good friends. He's a beauty. You know Jordy?
Yeah, he is a certified beautician is what he is.
Yeah.
I was part of the Wingham Ironman executive during Jordy Schneider's reign there and got to know him. He is a beaut.
Yeah, he's a legend. So.
Oh, yeah, 100. He's got the great red flow.
Yeah, I haven't seen him lately, but I hope he's still rocking that flow. Yeah, he's definitely one of a kind. So.
That's for sure, Andrew. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck this weekend, and happy to see you back on the ice.
Yep, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
That was Andrew Bogdan talking from the Stratford Fighting Irish as to what he's going to bring to the table, a little bit of his history, and what the Irish are going to try to do to get back into the series against the Elora Rocks. Now let's chat with Zach Cameron, forward from the first place Elora Rocks, and what they have to do to keep the momentum going. The interview shortly. Joining me on the podcast, Zach Cameron from the Elora Rocks. You had a great weekend last weekend. You're up 2-0 over the Stratford Fighting Irish. Now you had an 11-2 win on Saturday. How do you not let that go to your head going into games 3 and 4?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with, just sticking to the game plans that the coaches have in place for us, and just showing up to the rink every day and knowing that it's a new game, and, anything can happen. So just go out there and work hard. And
absolutely. Like, I know after a game like that, you could
give your team the best chance of winning.
For sure. And I know with a game like that, you can walk into the rink with way too much swagger. You're playing a pretty hard-working hockey team, and you have to keep that into perspective, eh?
Yeah, I know for sure. It's easy to get complacent, especially, after you have a good weekend. But, playoffs are a marathon, not a sprint. I mean, with only, 2 rounds, it can feel like a little bit of a sprint. But if we can just slow it down and, just stick to the systems, I think we'll be all right.
And what is your game plan going into this weekend? Just stick to what you've been doing?
Yeah, I don't see why not. If it's not fixed, if it's not broken, don't you have nothing to fix, right? So I think we just go in there and just know that it's a new game. And I think we'll be fine.
So, Zach, for people that aren't sure, maybe they haven't seen you play before, they want to learn a little bit about you. What kind of game do you bring to the arena?
I think I'm definitely an offensive oriented for sure. Everyone's has their own package that they bring to the game. You got your defensive forwards, you got your offensive forwards. And it seems like those defensive forwards are always trying to look to be better offensively, and offensive forwards always looking to be better defensively. So I'd say I'm definitely more of an offensive player that's tries to work on his D zone as much as he can. But I think as far as what someone would see if they showed up to a game is hopefully I'm moving pretty fast out there and making good decisions with the puck. I think I see the ice pretty well. Probably the best part of my game.
Do you consider yourself an A+ trash talker or not?
If I have beef with somebody, then I think I can get pretty creative. But it's not really something I go for. But if I get fired up enough, then I got some pretty good lines.
Perfect. Well, you always need a couple just there, right? So you guys,
Exactly.
you guys finished first overall. You're facing. Was it hard going into this series and not looking down on your opponent, or did you know what you were dealing with a hardworking team?
Well, I mean, I think it'd be a little bit different if they hadn't beat us before, right? They've taken us to it. They've taken it to us before, and I think you got to have a good memory and know that, if we don't show up, these guys can win. They have the tools to win. So, like I said, again, it's every game, and it's not over till it's over.
And let's take a journey down memory lane for you. Tell me little bit about your hockey past. Where'd you start? How did you get here?
Well, I mean, first off, I'm from the area. I live in Fergus, so basically just started off playing. We had a pretty good minor hockey team back in the day. I had Jacob Black, Jeremy Goodwin, Sinkeldam. I know he's not with us anymore, but Luke Holscher was the year older than us. He played with my older brother. So we had a pretty good team growing up. And then obviously all eventually won the Alliance in minor midget with Waterloo. Then us three guys, Jacob, Jeremy, and myself, all went to Elmira, and it was kind of like a reunion, and we had a good season there and managed to win the Sutherland Cup in our rookie year after losing in the Cherry. So, we won as a wild card. And then I played my oldest year in Hanover, or my overage year in Hanover.
Oh, for the Barons.
Yeah, you got it. Yep.
Yeah. I worked in that league for years.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I guess we took a year off due to COVID. And then I heard that, they were joining a new league. And, then I heard the Rocks were joining a new league. And then the word gets around and all the boys are talking. And next thing you know, a bunch of local guys showing up to play for the Rocks again. It was pretty exciting. It was just good to see all the guys and get our skates on the ice again.
Well, fantastic. Zach, good luck the rest of the way here for the sprint to the Sleeman Cup.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, so there it is, the WOSHL playoffs. We're into the semifinals. Two teams up by 2-0. Views from both sides. How is it going to pan out this weekend? I guess we're going to have to find out. I'll be back with you next week to see how things are going in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League. I'm K-Fel. Have a great week.
rock a dad bod. Drop my Hellcat like it's NASCAR. It's NASCAR. Barbecuing in my backyard. Gotta love it on my dad bod.